Getting Jake Paul in the first place, that's no joke.
Just sent him a random DM saying like, if we can ever help with any garage flooring, let us know. About 2 months ago now, I was just out on a Friday night. DM just came through saying, guys, it's time, from Jake Paul.
What is going on, people? Welcome back to the CEOCAST, the number one podcast for showcasing business or entrepreneurship. Now today, you lot join me with someone who I've been following from probably the start of their business, and I'm excited to bring you the story because I've seen how far they've come, the people they work with, and the way they've progressed their business on a whole different scale. I'm with none other than Harry from Garage Style.
Oh man, thanks for having me. Excited to finally
be
be on.
bro.
I've been watching for a long time as well, man.
I appreciate you, my bro. So for people who don't know what Garage Style is, obviously I know what it is. What is it exactly? Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and set the bell notification to all so you never miss a single episode.
So Garage Style, we do predominantly modular garage flooring. So started off with one tile system. We've now got a few different systems. Accessories to go with it, so hexagon lighting systems, garage doors, and a few other bits and pieces. But yeah, we just sort of transform garages, gyms, industrial units.
You can make the whole space look completely different just by like the decorations that you have.
100%. So yeah, we start with a blank canvas, and then a lot of people go mad with the colours. Get rid of all the dust and smarten the garage up. So
how does it work? Would it like, so let's just say I had an empty garage, right? Just a empty vessel, right? Would you come down and almost design it, or would I have to tell you what I want?
So it depends really. A lot of people want us to come out, measure up, show samples. So we do that a lot of the time, and a lot of the bigger jobs we do that. But also we sometimes rely on the customer's measurements. So you can have a look on Instagram, Facebook, see what colour you want to do, get some inspiration, and then we'll work out what's needed and go from there. So it goes wrong sometimes that way, but we do a bit of both really.
And as I said, you worked with many people, which we'll get onto later on, but if we just had to name drop a few of recent ones that you worked with.
So the biggest one that's been all over socials recently is Jake Paul. So that was a crazy trip that I'm sure we'll touch on. But a lot of footballers, Harry Maguire, Jack Wilshere, and then some rappers, Mist, Conan,
those are people.
The whole spectrum of people really. So
I'm really interested to know like how this business come about, because this isn't like a business that people just think of, right? It's like, you could have started anything, clothing line, you could have started, anything, right? But for you to think of like almost like tile flooring in the beginning, it's completely out of the norm. So
I mean, to start with, I come from a very entrepreneurial family. So my granddad invented a lot of products. The main thing was he helped to invent the ballpoint pen. So part of the method of keeping the ball in the pen. And he was being paid royalties for that until he died. So that's probably his biggest invention. And also some other products, some stuff we've got hopefully in the shot here now. This is an educational toy called Polydron. My dad
used to play with this in school.
That's it. A lot of schools use that to teach geometry. So that was another big product that he made a long time ago. My uncle ran that company in the UK, and my dad was running the company in the US. So that's another product that's quite recognisable because a lot of schools use that. I think I remember we used to put stuff together like this in primary school or whatnot. It was quite sick. It's quite fun. I mean, it's still big now. It's not, the company's not in the family anymore, but still a big company and in lots of schools worldwide. And then there's this product which is called a gyro cut. So it's got a blade on the end which rotates. So again, a very sort of niche product used in crafting, for paper cutting and stuff like that. And my dad and brother both run that company still now. So
they still run it,
so that was invented a long time ago by my granddad, and just probably 10 years ago now, my dad really picked up the designs and started manufacturing them again. And that's going really well. There lots of people using it, obviously lots of viral videos on socials with that product as well. So I come from a very entrepreneurial family. I was always thinking, what can I do? I left school and got straight into work with Mercedes.
Is it? Okay.
So I did an apprenticeship with Mercedes.
What was you doing there?
In the parts department.
Okay,
So me and my brother both did that actually. We were there. I was there for about 7 years, various dealerships. And while I was there, I started an eBay business. So started off actually selling this gyro cut product that my dad started making. And then sort of got addicted to my phone, like going ka-ching every time something sells. So I was like, right, what else can I add to it? So I just started sourcing products, lots of stuff from China, picked up some
How old would you have been at this point?
I probably started the eBay business when I was about 18, I'd say.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit older, but sort of just kept building up from that. I ended up with about 1,400 different eBay listings.
No way.
And all stuff that kept replenishing stock, so not just one-off items.
You had a whole big shop basically.
Yeah, but it was
you
all
had a Harrods
small.
on eBay.
Yeah, literally. It was all small items though, so it wasn't like a warehouse. It was still just run from home.
Yeah.
I ended up being at Mercedes lunch break, packaging stuff up, running down the post office.
Yeah.
And luckily I got that company to a size where we were doing like a couple of 100,000 a year in turnover. So I was making enough to leave Mercedes and pursue that, but at the same time wanted to start a brand rather than just stay on eBay. So I came across the tiles that were getting bigger and bigger in America, and I sort of thought it's time to have a go with something like that. So one of my uncles was manufacturing, so we started manufacturing some tiles. We've now tweaked it. We got some different ranges and stuff, but that was the original product, and sort of grew pretty quickly. As you said, we work with a lot of celebrities and influencers. So quite early on, we started working with Yanni from Yanimize.
Yep.
Did the original Yanimize unit there, which was cool. Obviously led to a lot of exposure.
Yep.
And we just started growing.
That was early on, right?
Yeah, that was pretty early on. That was probably only maybe a year into starting the company.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That sort of got us going and led to, I think, DMO DJ and Mists came straight after that.
Yeah.
And they just sort of snowballed on from there. Every time we did some, more people popped up.
So was Yanni like the first big person that you had done?
Yeah, so Yanni would have been the first big account that we worked with.
Yeah.
And the good thing is Yanni's local to us. He got behind the brand. We still speak to Yanni now. We've done lots of jobs for him.
Yeah, you've done his house as well, right?
Yeah, we've done his house recently. So yes, I think the good thing is a lot of these people got behind what we were doing and get along with us and the team and help to push it. So
that's the main thing when you build connections with the people as well as doing business with them. But then when you build that connection, you're always going to do business with them going in the future as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You could have just done that one Yanni's first garage and then just hi, bye, done your job, safe, see you later.
Yeah,
but you've kept that connection. You've got to do his second place now. His house.
We did the new unit at Urban for wrapping there.
Yeah.
And as well as obviously him recommending us to a lot of people, which obviously always helps. So we get a lot of recommendations.
Yeah, I suppose it's a lot of word of mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I saw someone's garage and I'm like, yo, where'd you get that done from? And they're like, garage style, then I'm going to call you, isn't it? Especially if I'm into that. I'm going to just go back to where you approached Yanni, right?
Yeah.
So how did that actually come about? Did he call you guys or?
So what happened actually, he put out, I think on Twitter at the time, that he needed a new floor in the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother, who was working with me at the time, saw it and said we need to get in contact with him. So I think we DM'd him on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Everything.
Yeah, didn't get a reply.
Yeah.
And we actually know someone who was a car showroom in front of Yanimize. So we sort of had a mutual friends, and they sort of put us in contact and said, I've got a company that are able to help. So they put us in contact. We went down there and spoke to Yanni. He had the whole workshop done. I think over Christmas was the only time he could afford to shut for a couple of days. So that was a while back now, but a lot of people recognise us from that. We used to go to a lot of the shows and everyone's saying, are you the guys that did Yanimize's floor? So it definitely helped. And like I say, it then snowballed on to the other celebrities and influencers that we work with now.
Going back to your upbringing, right? Your father and your granddad essentially being entrepreneurs. Did that have some sort of influence on you?
I think so, yeah. I think as long as I remember, I've always wanted to sort of earn money and looking at what I can do. And especially once I started selling on eBay, it was like my phone would just make the noise something sold. I'd look all the time. Every morning I'd wake up, what's sold,
like an addiction, isn't it?
Yeah, it was almost like I was addicted to that, and what other products I can add on. I'd always be like, I used to be a nightmare for it. I still am now probably, but my wife used to, like, we'll go shopping and I'll be in the shop looking at stuff thinking, oh, that's cheap, and looking on eBay what it sells for. And like, there's been times I remember being at Bicester
Village. Do you still do that now?
I'll probably still, not so bad now because the eBay thing's a lot quieter. But I've been in Bicester Village sort of. I remember buying like 20 man bags off the shelf before because they were discounted and selling them all off on eBay, and they're always looking for the next product. But I suppose then at that point I was like, right, I want to be my own boss and work for myself. So it was just waiting for the right opportunity and the right thing that I wanted to pursue.
You recognise that from early?
Yeah.
So was this almost like your first established business?
This episode is sponsored by Fireaway Pizza, the fastest growing pizza company in the UK. With over 100 locations, you definitely have a store near you. The founder of Fireaway was on the show not too long ago, and you can get a slice of the action by using the discount code CEOCAST at fireaway.co.uk. Once again, use the discount code CEOCAST at fireaway.co.uk.
I would say so, because eBay obviously is selling through the platform. So it's a registered business, but you're relying on eBay eBay's platform, and I've had it before. You get shut down for a week for messaging someone, or
seriously?
Yeah, you can get banned. If sometimes people message try and buy from outside of eBay, and if you give out your address or something like that, you can get listings deactivated and stuff. So, yeah, so you've got to be a bit careful.
Yeah.
But you're obviously selling through eBay's platform, so that
you've
was
had like your whole shop shut down on eBay before?
Yeah, only temporarily for like, I think it's a week or something like that. It's almost like a shadow ban that they do. Not recently, to be fair. We still sell on eBay. My wife runs that side of it now. But originally you had to be a bit careful, and I think from that I wanted to make a brand. So I started using social media, and you can't really promote eBay listings, so I was always looking for what we could make as a brand, and something a bit different that not everyone's doing. Like you say, a lot of people are doing the clothing brands and that sort of thing, which is cool, but it's hard to stand out. So I think it was just constantly looking, and when I thought we found the right opportunity, jumping into it.
So with this, right, people always say you do something that you love, do something that you enjoy. Were you, because I can imagine, garage style, you probably initially started off with doing people's car garages, right? Yeah. Were you passionate about cars at all to think this? So
with obviously working at Mercedes as well, we used to do some track days and stuff there. I've always been
you must have loved that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So I was always into cars and motorbikes. I still got quad bikes and stuff now. So it was cool to do something in the motor trade. Obviously with working at Mercedes as well, I had a lot of contacts in the motor industry. It was just something that sort of related to that industry. So straight away, once we launched, we had a lot of people to go and speak to and market to. So and then obviously now it's good fun. We get to see a lot of nice cars, a lot of nice places, a lot of celebrities and influencers and stuff, so it always keeps it interesting. And obviously we've got a good team here as well that all get involved and do a lot of the videos and content and stuff. So it's pretty cool to see a lot of nice garages and nice cars.
How did you find growing it? Now that you started this business, talk me through the process of how you started it. Like now you've seen like these garage floor tiles in America. Yeah. What was your first step to bring it to the UK?
So there was similar products being sold in the UK, more for industrial use.
Yeah.
So it was, to start with, it was sort of repurposing what was already available. One of my uncles was involved with manufacturing, and he helped with the flooring to start with. So it was sort of taking a product that's already around and repurposing it for their garage market. And of course, there were companies that were selling similar products for garages, but none of them were really using social media. So obviously, that was quite early on, 2017 we started. So we started pushing out the content on socials. And obviously now there's a lot of other companies doing socials with it as well. I think we were the first ones, especially to be hitting the influencers and stuff when they were really working well. As you know, it's sort of a bit saturated now. But a lot of the influencers back in those days worked really well. And every time someone shouted us out, the phones were ringing. So
what year did you start?
2017.
2017. Yeah. So that's not even that long ago.
Yeah. So just over 6 years now we've been going. Yeah.
That's not even that long. So for you to grow in that time, like obviously influencer marketing had been a thing probably since like 2012, 2013, right?
Yeah.
But for you to bring it onto this sort of scale and a whole different industry, which people might not have thought was possible, you were kind of new and first in that sense.
Yeah, and I think it works quite well with socials because of the transformation, as you've seen, a lot of bright colours and stuff, and a lot of the garages we turn up to have obviously got just bare, dusty concrete floors, so it's quite a good visual thing. It's a quick transformation.
From beginning to end.
Yeah, and I think, obviously to start with, it was a lot of photographs on Instagram and Facebook, and then when TikTok and Reels came out, it sort of
changed the game.
Yeah, changed the game. I know we did Jeremy Lynch's garage just as Reels started.
Yeah,
and he was the one that sort of said, right, you really need to push Reels with what you're doing. And we showed him some of our content, and he was like, yeah, get on Reels. And I think from them really we took it seriously and really started pushing the video content.
You think that grew a lot more?
I think so. Yeah, we've had a lot of viral videos.
Yeah.
So I think our biggest one on Instagram now has done 69.5 million views.
Which one was that?
And that was it was quite a controversial one, which is probably why it's done well. But we had a customer who had a Tottenham logo fitted into the floor, Tottenham Hotspur. So and as soon as Arsenal beat Tottenham in the next North London derby, we reversed the video.
Yeah.
And we just
took it out.
Yeah, we took the tile out, and we just put our tiles can easily be removed if ever needed, and we posted it exactly at 90 minutes, and it just went crazy with football fans arguing.
So with that, I'm guessing you had to be in football. Like, were you actively looking at that match and had that?
No, to be fair, we had that video because a customer just had that tile fitted in their garage a long time ago. So we had the video, and I think it was controversial match. I remember watching it with Adam and saying, should I reverse that video? And we were thinking, it's a bit controversial, but we thought, let's just do it. And I remember straight away it just went crazy. And we've tried to recreate similar videos since, and they've never done anything like that.
It's always some videos like the random ones that just take off.
Yeah, and the guy, a friend of mine who actually was the one that installed that tile, he used to help us out in the early days, and he was getting stopped on the street by people saying, I've seen you in a video. I said to him, don't go near Tottenham.
Don't go near Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So we've had a few that have done viral numbers like that, which is always pretty crazy, and again, gives us a lot more exposure.
Yeah, there's one video that I remember, it wasn't even that long ago, to be fair, when you done Tommy Mallet's one.
Oh, yeah.
And he banged the mallet on the floor. And I was like, that's quite clever. Tommy Mallet banged the mallet on the floor. He's got a fresh garage.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Quite sick. Yeah, we do try and get the celebrities and influencers involved as well. Obviously some of them don't want to be, some of them just want us to go in and do the garage and leave, but where we can, we obviously make the most of the content. And like I say, Tommy's a good supporter of ours. We've done I think 2 or 3 jobs for him. He still sends us a lot of people, so again, he's behind the brand. We did a bit of filming for his TV show as well, he's always happy to get involved and have a laugh with us, which is cool.
I mean, like I was saying to you off camera, like, once you bring in a different type of audience and their word of mouth, not only the word of mouth, but they're also their following as well, see that. Yeah. It opens so many more doors for you in terms of who you can have on, because now you're not just having the car lovers on from, like, for example, people like Yanni, you might have car lovers from that, but now you've got the whole of Towie lot with Tommy Mallet. Yeah. Or you've got the whole of the celebrity list now because of Jake Paul people.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a good example of that was Mrs. Hinch. Yeah. I don't know if you know her. She's a cleaning influencer.
Yeah. A cleaning influencer.
So she was one of the first just sort of doing cleaning tips and cleaning her house. Yeah. And I think she's got about 5 million followers now, but just crazy engagement.
Start cleaning more.
Yeah, crazy engagement. But she's again a good supporter of the brand. I speak to her husband quite a lot, Jamie. Yeah. And we've done a few jobs for them, and every time she posts something, it just goes crazy. Viral. And I know a lot of customers were calling up just saying they wanted the same colour floor as her. That brought in a whole new market, like the sort of ladies who want the utility rooms done, and rather than the sort of supercar owners, it brought in all those sort of garages that are just being gyms or storage areas. Yeah. So like you say, a whole different market. But
that's the beauty about it. Your product can be used in all scenarios, not just a garage anymore. Yeah. Different things, gyms. What else have you done for it?
So lots of random applications. We've done a lot of like warehouse spaces, factories, loads of gyms, especially through lockdown. I think we were doing like 80 gyms a month through lockdown. Seriously? Just because I think all the gyms shut and everyone either had commercial gyms that they were refitting out while they had the chance, or people at home who wanted to go to the gym just thought, right, the garage is now going to have to be a gym. It was pretty crazy. We still do lots of gyms now, and some random applications like barbershops, car showrooms, and
many different things.
We're never surprised when different things come along.
So in the whole 6 years, has it all been like natural growth?
Well, most of it's through socials. Like I say, we've got a very good network of people. Started with a big network in the motor trade, so a lot of recommendations. We do a lot of events as well. So I mentioned to you off camera, next week we'll be at Supercar Driver Secret Meet, and Goodwood Festival of Speed. So they're always good as well. I've always been around events because my dad's company that does the crafting products. So when I started it, I think that's where the sort of first 1 or 2 jobs came from, just getting out to small local events. Yeah. With a really basic setup and handing out leaflets and
build
stuff.
Your confidence like that.
Yeah, 100%. And it was a good route to market to start with. We still do a lot of events now, a lot of the big ones. And it's good because a lot of people know the brand already. So people come up and speak to us, and it's a good way to engage with followers and clients. So shows is always something we push to.
So being 31 years old and starting this 6 years ago, you would have been roughly, 25?
25, yeah.
How does it make you feel knowing that, the position you're in today?
Yeah, it's a hard one because I never really sit back and think, right, I never thought we'd get to this stage. I remember getting to sort of £100,000 turnover and thinking this is crazy, and VAT registering. And then, now we're at 7 figures turnover, but it's still, I think we're quite bad at that. We never sit back and think, right, we've done a good job here. It's like, it's always what's the next thing? How are we going to get to the next level?
It's a natural thing though, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's crazy. We've got a great team. So obviously the team help a lot. Everyone's invested in the brand. Everyone gets good reviews from customers, and really good team in the office and on the tools. So I think that helps as well. But But yeah, we got, like I say, big plans, and I always think the more we can grow it, the more opportunities we can give to our staff as well. So it's always who's next collaboration, next move, what we're going to do. So
what's next?
Yeah.
Well, your staff are currently out right now, probably fitting more garages, right?
Yeah.
And you're here right now. So my assumption is that you don't do much of the fitting anymore, no?
I don't know. So I will still get involved sometimes on big jobs. Even still then, I don't so much anymore if it's a massive job. And a lot of the celebrity stuff, we get involved just for the sort of networking side of it. So obviously we just flown out to Puerto Rico for that, which I'm sure we'll touch on. But yeah, so I still do get to site every now and again. But yeah, day to day, I'm normally in the office or doing surveys and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what do you normally do on a day-to-day basis? The one thing that your business needs to level up is top-tier marketing. New Marketing are a creative marketing agency based in London, servicing all types of brands across the UK, including my own. Not only do they market this podcast for me, but they also help me market my personal businesses as well. They understand exactly how social media marketing works and how brands like you and I can use it to gain more traction. So they offer services such as social media management, content creation, influencer marketing, and also help you with your social media strategy. They cater to businesses and brands in all different sectors, whether it may be hospitality, automotive, podcasts, dental industry, and many other industries. So chances are they're definitely able to help you with your marketing needs. There's a reason why I use New Marketing myself. It's because their proven results are highly successful. Their work reflects a long list of qualities that other agencies fail to provide. So make sure you go to newmarketing.com. The link is on the screen right now, also in the description. Tell them you want the exact same deal that Raheem's got, because they've grown my businesses more than I could ever imagine.
So we've got a marketing apprentice, Alfie. We've got Tommy that does a lot of the sales. Charlotte, my wife, does a lot of the admin side of it, and then we've got all the fitters. I sort of oversee everything. Still do a lot of the marketing because I think that's what I like to do. So a lot of the video ideas, a lot of the reels, sort of editing and stuff. But Alfie's now helping with a lot of that. So I don't really need to be doing that, but I find myself doing a lot of marketing and just looking at what the next move's going to be really, and focusing. I try to spend as much of my time as possible at the next move and bring in the next money in really.
Yeah, I suppose that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, so I used to do a lot of, obviously to start with, I was doing everything. I remember being in the kitchen, sort of answering the phone, fitting the floors and trying to do too much. But sort of quickly realised that you're better off separating it all out. And obviously we're busy enough where we can make that work. So
how long was it until you actually made that transition of like kind of taking a step back from actually fitting to not actually being a real business owner, CEO?
Was, probably about 3 years, I would say. Okay. I think I was a one-man band for about 2 years, but I had a friend who I mentioned earlier who was in the Tottenham video. He had a wooden flooring company. Okay, yeah. So he still runs that now, and they still help us every now and again when we've got big jobs flooring? Laminate flooring and hardwood flooring. So that's fine finish flooring they're called. So they're still going, they still help us on a lot of the big jobs. But yeah, he used to just sort of come and help me when I needed help. So I was doing it all. And then I think we did Mrs. Hinch's floor the first time, and it just went crazy overnight. And then my brother left Mercedes that week, I think, and it was sort of time to take the next step. And then, probably about 3 years on that, we took on the next employee, and then that sort of took me off the tools.
So you were pretty much like aside from your friend helping you, you were pretty much a one-man band for 3 years.
One-man band, probably for 2 years, I would say.
Yeah, that's a while, to be fair.
Yeah, I did have, obviously, the odd people coming in here and there, bigger jobs and stuff, but a lot of driving around.
Day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
All yourself.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't the best thing to do, to be fair. Probably with the growth that we've seen, we probably should have expanded quicker, but it was always sort of just do it without any investment, just reinvest everything we're making and sort of build it naturally like that.
What was it, like a risk for you to take people on, or?
I think it was always like, have we got enough work to cover the wages? But of course, once you take people on, you're then spending more time bringing the next jobs in.
Doing more jobs.
Yeah, so it naturally does work out. But I think once we took on that second employee after my brother, that's when we realised every time we take someone on, it's helping out and we can go to the next level. So since that, we haven't been scared to hire people, and we're still hiring a lot of the time. So
how many people you got working for you now?
So there's 8 full-time at the moment.
8 full-time,
8 full-time, and we're we are looking for a couple more people that will be advertised for soon. Obviously, we touched briefly, but hopefully we'll be doing the US market soon as well. So we've got a team out there who will be looking to launch very soon.
All right, so let's talk about the US thing then. Puerto Rico, Jake Paul. I want to know, like I said to you, I want to leave it all on the podcast for me to have an organic reaction. I want to know how this even come about, because getting Jake Paul in the first place is not That's no joke.
Yeah, so it was
you've
pretty
gone to
crazy.
the top of the top.
Pretty crazy. So I think back in 2020, I sent Jake Paul a random DM. I think I saw something pop up, and I just sent him a random DM saying like, if we can ever help with any garage flooring, let us know.
Yeah.
And he replied straight away. I think at the time,
he replied to it.
Yeah, I think he had like 16 million followers or something at the time.
Yeah.
And straight away, within 2 seconds, he replied to it. So I must have just caught him at a good time with his phone in his hand.
Yeah.
And he just sort of sent me his assistant's details and said, speak to them, get it sorted out. And we didn't really get anywhere with it. I spoke to his assistant a few times. They said he's got fights coming up and he's moving house and different things were happening. So we chased him a few times and it sort of
I think in 2020 they were still living, him and Logan both still living in America, right?
Still in LA, I think, yeah. So nothing really happened with it. We chased him a few times and we sort of thought, right, let's stop bothering him now.
Yeah.
And then, just probably about 2 months ago now, I was just out on a Friday night and a DM just came through saying, guys, it's time, from Jake Paul.
Oh, is it?
So it was crazy because he never followed us. So he must have obviously remembered the brand name or see us pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, we got to jump on it now. And we weren't really ready to do it, but...
So you're out on a Friday night. When you saw that DM, what was your first reaction?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it was him really, but then he asked for my number and just added me to a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy, but we just thought we got to jump on the opportunity now. And I think within probably 4 to 5 weeks, we were out there fitting the floor.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround then.
Yeah, it was a crazy trip. We had to get the tiles sent out to Puerto Rico. So I don't know, we did a YouTube video, but we had problems, tiles stuck in customs, and I think the tiles arrived the day before we arrived.
Yeah.
So we had the whole trip booked, the tiles weren't there until we were literally in the country. So it was pretty stressful, but it all worked out all right. Crazy collaboration. Jake was around, so we got to watch him train and stuff, which was cool.
What did you do? His garage or like a gym or something?
Yeah, so we did a 4-bay garage.
Yeah.
So he's just bought some cars which arrived just after we left.
Yeah, I saw he bought a Ferrari 296.
Yeah, he bought a Ferrari and an old Ford Fairline.
Yeah.
He sort of kitted the whole garage out. We did the hexagon lighting, flooring, a few custom bits.
So you've done the full shebang, basically, full works.
Yeah, and it was crazy in that heat, like no aircon in the garage. We were just dripping. We didn't send, normally we use guillotines and stuff to cut, but because of the shipping cost and obviously we'd have had to ship everything back, we just arrived with no tools, went to a hardware store,
got everything,
spent I think about $200 on some basic tools, but no guillotines, so I had to cut it all by hand in that heat. So it was pretty crazy, it came out really nicely. He was really happy. He's done some featured us in one of his YouTube videos and done a bit on Instagram and stuff. So that was pretty crazy.
What was his reaction to it?
So he saw us get started and then he was out training all day, and when he came back he was pretty excited. So
you done it all in one day?
So we did all the flooring in one day, and then we came back the next day with an electrical company locally out there, and we helped them just to put the lighting in. And then we came back that evening and did a load of content filming. So
it was sick.
Yeah, it was pretty mad. And we ended up going to watch him train as well, running around the local running track, which was pretty crazy. Yeah. Adam, my fitter, ended up running around with him. So there's a funny video of him in his garage style uniform trying to keep up. But
that's good branding then, isn't it?
Yeah,
good awareness.
That's it.
Running with Jake Paul.
But
what's he like as a person then?
To be fair, he was a really cool guy because a lot of people obviously had stuff to say beforehand, so we didn't really know what to expect. He was really cool. We did a lot of content with us. We had a list of stuff that we thought it's probably being cheeky, but we had a list of stuff that we would have liked to shot with him. Mm-hmm. I said to the videographer who was with us, I said, let's just see how far down the list we can get. Yeah. And to be fair, he did everything we asked. So we had some stupid video ideas for TikTok and stuff. Yeah. Some brand shots just of him wearing like garage style top, doing different things, holding tiles and stuff. But to be fair, he did everything and more. So we couldn't fault him. Like I say, he invited us to go watch him train. But genuinely, him and his team were just really cool guys, and just felt like we were around a friend's house. I
suppose when you're doing a favor like that, and you're coming from across the seas, they see it as like, this is actually really cool with these guys to come from all over the UK to Puerto Rico just to fit my garage flooring and kit the whole thing up, basically. Yeah,
and I think a lot of his team and even his brother turned up while we were there, and they were like, when we said we're from England, they were like, really, you lot are mad. Yeah, it's the first time we've done a trip like that. We've done stuff in Germany in the past, but that was a pretty crazy trip.
So if his brother's there, does that mean you're going to do Logan's as well?
Potentially, yeah. We did speak about it, so it might be another collaboration in the future.
So this brings me on to the whole US, venture, right?
Yeah.
So off of the back of this, did you think, okay, now while we're here, while we've got the US audience on lock, shall we just push for it?
Yeah, so we always wanted to do the US at some point. I mentioned to you briefly off camera that I was actually born in California. So when my dad was running one of my granddad's inventions, he was running the company in America for 10 years.
Yep.
So I was born there and then came back when I was young. But I've got an American passport. So
is it still got
a dual nationality. Both my parents are British, but I was born in California. So yeah, it's always been interesting for me to look at that market, and we were thinking about doing it in the future. But obviously, with Jake Paul coming through and getting his job done, we've had a lot of interest out there, and we've got some good partners in the US who are ready to launch. So I think at some point in the very near future, we'll be pushing that and hopefully getting out there and doing some more bits.
So how would you make it work then? How would you control the quality?
So we would have to do a lot of training, of course. We'd have to get our team out there and do training and quality control and make sure, because obviously the brand's very well known now, so it's just keeping control of the brand. So a very good sort of family friend of ours who's based in Nashville, who's going to be working with us. So yeah, we're confident we've got the right team involved. Yeah.
Where else are you looking to expand to?
So we've done Germany. We've got a Garage Style Germany, which is run by guy who was doing a lot of work with us beforehand as well, so that's going well. Me and Adam were out there early this year to do a big job with them, so that's going. And then Dubai is another one that's being talked about, so
gotta be Dubai,
potentially. We do get a lot of interest out there. A lot of our stuff comes through social media, so a lot of people from all over the world will inquire when they see stuff, so that's why it works really. We already get the inquiries worldwide, so yeah, I think Dubai is another one that
it's the next hub.
Naturally will have to be done.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I want to ask you, Harry, right? Business is great, you've grown massively, but I'm sure it wasn't just all smooth journey, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the struggles of entrepreneurship that you've had in your time?
There's always obviously stresses involved with growing. Obviously, like I say, we've been growing at a fast rate, so that brings with it the problems of storage, which is always a nightmare for us. We've just actually paid a deposit this week on a new storage area, which hopefully will go through very quickly, because our current warehouse, which is downstairs that you saw on your way in, is bursting at the seams. But it obviously comes at a higher cost, so we don't just want to get a massive warehouse that we don't need to fill up. So
and your overheads is just crazy.
Yeah, storage is always a bit of a problem. We have a lot of people popping up now who try and copy what we do, which is always going to happen. Problem is a lot of them use our content, so we're constantly fighting with that.
A lot they use your content.
So a lot of them use our pictures and product shots and stuff. So we see that all the time. So it's constantly solicitors' letters and all that sort of stuff.
All of that.
It's that's always a bit of a nightmare, and we see that worldwide. We found a shop in, I think it was in Saudi Arabia, who had the Garage Style logo as a shop front sign.
Is it?
Yeah, and somebody who followed us, who lives in Saudi Arabia.
Nothing to do with you lot.
Yeah, somebody who just happened to see it, who followed us, sent us a picture of the shop and said, "Is this something to do with you guys?" And it was like a fully fitted out shop, massive sign, and they weren't doing garage flooring actually; they were doing like car sales. So, but again, it's solicitors' letters to somebody in Saudi Arabia is not the easiest thing to get done. But yeah, we get a lot of that as well. A lot of people popping up, and it used to really stress us out, when you see people popping up and copying exactly what we're doing, trying to approach our clients. But a lot of them come and go. There's been a lot recently. There's a big one that went bankrupt and took a lot of deposits with him, and I think escaped to Barbados and sent everyone a letter from Barbados saying he's closed the company down. So it's a lot of people popping up, but a lot of them disappear as well, because it is a hard industry
to do.
Yeah, because
you guys make it look easy, but any industry is hard.
Yeah, because the hard thing we have is, once we've done somebody's garage, they don't need us again. The floor, you get a 10-year warranty, but the floor will last 25, 30 years plus. So it's once we've done someone's garage, we can do a great job and they can think we're amazing, but they don't need us again unless they move house. So that's probably one of the biggest struggles, that we're constantly having to bring new work in, which is why we're always doing collaborations, social media, and events and stuff.
One thing I will say about the people copying and people popping up and going all the time is I've dealt with that as well, right? And it gets so frustrating with people. You're literally you're copying the whole brand and everything that I do with maybe even the same name and all that sort of stuff. You get frustrated, but then you start to look at it firstly, they're coming and going, so they're not even lasting. Secondly, if they're copying you, then you got to be doing something right, and you're the market leaders in that sense. So it's 100%. Good in that way.
Yeah, it's always a good sign, but like you say, it's always stressful and a bit painful when you see it. But yeah, no, it's like I say, it's always just us trying to stay ahead and think, right, what's the next thing to do, just to keep on top. So,
and what I will want to ask is, obviously, like you just mentioned there, people, it's usually like a one-off sort of thing. You do my garage, the warranty lasts for 10 years, the towels will last for 25 themselves.
Yeah.
So how do you keep that repetitive business, or how do you keep that connection with your customers?
I think like it is like I say, it's a lot of referrals and recommendations, which is always good. People do use us for multiple locations. So we got people like DMO, who's obviously always buying new properties and units and setting up companies. And we get a lot of business from certain people like that. But I suppose we get a lot of people who move house. So we might have done someone's garage 5 years ago and they've now moved and want us to redo it. Or neighbours want the garage done as well. But it is hard because, like I say, a lot of people get behind the brand, leave us a great review. They love the team that turned up, but they don't really need us again. So it's constantly finding the next customers and the new ones coming through.
I suppose. As an entrepreneur, do you do anything else? Or do you,
so I still run the eBay company. So my wife does all the sort of packaging.
Is that still with 1,400 different products?
Well, there's still probably about 800 to 1,000 products on there at the moment, but it has declined massively because I don't really put any time into it anymore. So I've sort of kept a lot of the same products and not sourced any new ones, and I do every now and again stumble across something and add it on, but where I haven't been putting time into it, naturally it's declined quite a lot.
What sort of products are you having on there?
So because I started with my dad's crafting tools, a lot of crafting stuff, a lot of kids' toys, hobby related stuff, so like cycling equipment, a whole range of different stuff, really, some really random bits, but it has declined massively. I think a lot of people have moved from eBay to Amazon now.
A lot of people doing like Amazon FBA and whatnot.
That's it. So my brother, when my dad first started manufacturing this product, my brother took on all the Amazon side of it and I took on the eBay side of it. And then naturally, as I sourced all the new products for eBay, I then started supplying them all to my brother for Amazon. And eBay was always doing sort of double what he was doing on Amazon. And now it's gone the other way and it's just sort of Amazon's taken over. I think eBay's declined massively naturally anyway. Because obviously Garage Style's grown, we've sort of put all our time into that.
And then, in that situation, then what do you do then? Do you then transfer over to Amazon, or do you still crack on with eBay, even though it's like...
I've just stayed with eBay. My brother's still doing the Amazon stuff. He does that pretty much full time now. A lot of them are the same products, so I let him carry on with that. And then they're still adding certain bits and pieces to eBay, but it's just not worth us putting that much time into it anymore with what we're doing with Garage Style. So
What about anything else? As an entrepreneur, do you ever think about starting different businesses?
Yeah, so we do get involved with a few other bits. I've got I'm a business partner on an events company called Eventive Events. So we started up just before lockdown. So obviously lockdown stopped a lot of our events. But we've been doing some small scale events on the South Coast.
What sort of events are we talking?
We've been doing a lot of stuff with the Southampton Harbour Hotel. So it's a really nice venue right on the seafront down there. And we've been doing sort of Sunday car meets with different supercar clubs. Where they all come down for a few hours, have a meal and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And we've got a lot planned this summer with that as well. And that's with my business partner, Darren. So he's based down on the South Coast and does a lot of that as well.
He's there anyway.
So that's pretty cool. But apart from that, that's it really. We're always obviously looking at other opportunities, but I suppose it's trying to keep as much focus as we can on Garage Style because it does take up a lot of our time. So.
I mean, the thing is, you've got there's so much more places to go with Garage Style. You've got all these different countries, all these different people you can meet and see and do work for and work with. That it's almost like this is still the baby as it is right now. Do you know what I mean? And there's so much more room for expansion.
100%. And like I say, we've got the staff, so it's just keeping everyone busy. I think for now it's sort of all focus into Garage Style, but of course always looking at opportunities. So see what else comes along.
You ever worked with someone that and then you found out after that their audience has nothing to do with us?
We've definitely done people before where we've done it as some sort of collaboration or done them a crazy deal or whatever, and then it hasn't really worked out. But we're pretty good at analysing the social accounts ourselves and seeing if we think it's going to fit and if the engagement's good and everything else. So
it's like the process for it. So you look at someone like, for example, let's use Yanni as an example, right? Look at his profile, look at his following, and then would you then decide if it's worth it or if it's not worth it, weigh up the pros and cons?
Of course. And a lot of the time it's like the customers happy or the influencer celebrities happy to cover the cost or pay towards it, we'll just do them a bit of a deal if they're happy to share it. A lot of them will come and pay full price and just sort of to help us out, we'll do a bit of promo. So depends who it is and what sort of deal it is. But we have in the past been approached by people and we've looked and thought, no, it's not for us, or people expecting massive areas to be done free of charge and stuff, and we've said no.
The free of charge, that's the cheeky one, isn't it?
Yeah, so we have been approached, and a lot of the time we say no, and then you see it pop up on social media that somebody else has done it, and you sort of watch the reaction afterwards. And but we're pretty good at knowing what's worth doing and what's not. Yeah, because we're pretty good at the socials ourselves. So yeah, we see.
I suppose you just look at the people and see what type of person they are, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are willing to pay full price, even though you might have approached them, but the product might be so good that it's worth your services. At the end of the day, you are a business, so people can't really take the piss and say, I want this for free and all that sort of
that's
stuff.
it. And people are normally pretty fair, they'll work with us and help us out where they can as well. So we always like to work with people. Like we say, we don't want to just sort of turn up, smash a floor down and never speak to them again. So it's it all comes down to the same thing, building relationships and working with people. And I think that's the best way to do it, really, because people get behind the brand and want to help us out as well. So,
all right, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Harry. Yeah,
come on.
Where do you expect to see yourself in the business in the next 10 years? In 10 years' time, so 2033. That's my maths correct, right? 2033. Where do you expect to see yourself in Garage Style?
I'd like to say a global brand, definitely America, Dubai, Germany, and other countries as well. We are getting approached every day by different countries who want to partner up, but it's just finding the right people. But yeah, over that sort of time frame, I think we'll find a good network of people worldwide. Build it up to a massive brand that everybody knows, and like I say, we do get involved with a few different things. We're doing a lot of garage doors now as well, so keep sort of bolting on products that go together with what we're already doing. And I think just keep doing what we're doing and grow it to a massive size worldwide.
I think that's the way, that's the aim. If you had to leave Harry a message in the future, a 10 years message, he's watching this back now, what you got to say to him?
Once he's watching it back in...
Yeah, so in 10 years' time, you're watching this back. What's the message that you want to leave for yourself in 10 years? What do you want to say to yourself?
That's a hard one.
Something along the lines of, like, people would say, I hope you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish, or I don't know, something along them lines. What would you say to your younger self then?
Yeah, so to my younger... Do you want to ask it as a... question.
Go on.
To my younger self, I would say just work hard, never stop, keep pushing. I think we're big on that, really. I always think, especially like we say with all these new companies popping up, I always just think in my head, just got to outwork everyone else. And I genuinely think that no one will outwork us with what we're doing, because as you know, social media is a full-time job. I'm on it. My wife would kill me half the time because it never stops. We can be on holiday, it never stops. So I think it's very hard to outwork us. A lot of the team are the same, everyone's invested in the brand, so
it's the work rate then, that no one can really mess with.
I think that's it.
You could start another Garage Style, but you can't take the characteristics within the company.
I think that's it. And obviously paired up with the premium products, because there's a lot of cheap quality products as well. So I think that's it. Just work hard and keep going.
Sweet as, Harry. If anyone wants to get their garage kitted out, where can they do so and how do they do it?
So the best place is Instagram, which is at Garage Style Ltd. You can also check us out on YouTube, which is the same, Garage Style Ltd, where you'll see the Jake Paul video as well, which is pretty crazy. Or you can get us on info@garagestyletd.com for any inquiries.
Sweet as. I want to leave all the links in the description below. Make sure you follow CEOCAST on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, leave at least 10,000 likes on this video. In fact, if you leave 10,000 likes, I'll pay for someone to get their garage done from Harry at Garage Style. So make sure you do that. It might be you. Until then, I'll catch you lot on the next episode of CEOCAST. Peace.